What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, low baggers, hustlers? Monday, October 8th, and this is the Low Shack in the Bag show. I'm Jimmy the Bag sitting beside Lodol's Low Shack right here, and congratulations on your New York Islanders. Wow, we did some great capping on the NHL section of this morning's show. Bruins cashed easily on the puck line. Islanders were in complete control the whole time. San Jose was in a terrible spot. Buffalo taking it to Vegas.
And I even did the right thing by buying up to 6, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, look at that. What was it? It was like a minus 103 to minus 128. You know, that is likely to come out in the wash relatively evenly long term. But there are, I think that overall, my sense of when to buy and sell runs in all sports and points in all sports and in hockey has done me a little bit of good over the years. This is a perfect example of it in NHL. A lot of times when you like over, I tend to buy up to 6 on unders more than I buy down to 5 on overs in NHL.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And I've made a mess of this, just a mess of this CFL card. Every time they get in the red zone, it's an interception or a field goal. There have been 7 field goals, 1 missed field goal in the Rough Riders Eskimos game, and then Riley just was intercepted in Saskatchewan territory. It's an absolute mess, but all good.
Yeah. So my question is, Jimmy the Bag, how come we were sitting here talking about the Islanders game? We agreed on it. But I was the only one who pulled the trigger. Why didn't you pull the trigger too?
I'm just a little hesitant early in the year. Haven't been hitting, but hit with the Bruins and all good. Jessica Fine magically only fades my losers. Somehow it doesn't fade. She said she was going to fade my NHL, but somehow she misses it. She's extremely talented at only fading my losers.
We also were not. We said that we weren't.
Right,
but that's okay. But I thought for sure that
she did call my Bruins play the squarest play on the card. So, she's she knows, I guess, which ones.
I thought for sure Jessica Fine was going to fade me out of the Islanders and take San Jose +1 at a huge favorite line. But I guess she didn't, or she would tell us about it, right?
Oh, yeah,
she'd be like, listen, I faded Low Shack at minus 300. It was so stupid. Low Shack is so good at NHL. I faded him. I had to eat 3 units of loss. Well, I don't know what I'm doing. But I guess she didn't fade me on the Islanders.
She only fades our losers.
Yeah. She probably faded me on the under in the Vegas Buffalo game, but that was a push, and she probably sold up to 6, so she pushed on that one. I wonder if she's taking the first period over in Detroit Anaheim, because that is my last NHL pick of the day tonight. I'm on the first period under in Detroit Anaheim. Jimmy the Bag is taking no score in the first 9.5 minutes, as well as the full game under on that one. Also, I took Houston on the second half, right? And I assume that Jessica Fine took Cleveland on the second half. So I assume that's another loser for Jessica Fine fading me, but maybe she didn't do that, right?
No, she magically only fades our losers.
Yeah, and I also have the second half under in Atlanta Dodgers, and then also second half under in the Yankees-Boston game going. My lean to the over in Houston-Cleveland did hit. You know what I'm saying, Jim? And so everything has I really, but one thing that is true, longtime viewers of the show know that in my gambling career going back all the way to the very beginning, when it was when I started, working at SBR, Mondays were always by far my best day. I should really just call myself like the Monday Gambler and only bet on Mondays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would be nice. That would be very nice.
Only bet on Mondays. All right. So I don't know. Let's see. All right. So what else do we have here going on? Shout out to everyone. The Redskins game is a huge game going on tonight.
Yes.
Yes. Patty Rock forever says, Pete, I thought you said you weren't going to.
That was my fault.
I know that was Jimmy's fault. That was Jimmy's fault. But it was good. It was good. All right. So let's see what else do we have going on here. I am looking into more college football. I'll tell you what I'm thinking right now. I'm sorry. I got a little bit distracted at the beginning of this.
No worries.
Because someone who's a friend of my friend who lives in Costa Rica just got signed to a ESPN, Natalia Alvarez. Look at this lady right here, Natalia Alvarez. She lives in Desamparados. Natalia Alvarez, Freddie Fortune? No? Yeah. Look at that. I wonder if she's single. No way. Zero chance of that happening. All right, so sorry. So I was a little bit distracted. Anyway, let me just quickly tell you what I was thinking about, just to keep in people's heads for college football. I was thinking about doing this. I did actually bet it. I took Tulsa +7.5 as a home dog against sorry, let me find out who they are. I'm going to remind you. Oh, it's Central Florida, right? Isn't it? Yes, I took Tulsa +7, South Florida, sorry. Tulsa +7.5 against South Florida. I'm also leaning Air Force +10.5 against San Diego State. I'm going to have to look into that a little bit further, but obviously I faded San Diego. I thought they had a bunch of injuries, but DJ Big Boss loves San Diego State. He was right. I was wrong. I was thinking about taking Air Force here, and let me see. Yeah, those are the plays that I took, and I'm also thinking about taking TCU over Texas Tech. Although in TCU's last game, I thought they were going to be a good bet over Iowa State. Maybe TCU is not as good as I thought. They usually have this speed. You'll probably be looking into this game, Jim, because it is a Thursday game. They're going up against Texas Tech. A lot of our regular viewers thought that West Virginia was a good bet against Texas Tech. I did wind up betting that as a tail, but I didn't give it as an official pick, but they were totally right. So the question is, how overvalued is Texas Tech? How good is TCU in reality? And I am thinking about taking TCU here, but I'm not going to bet it or give it as a pick until and unless it goes to 7 for now. I'm also thinking about taking Texas State plus 17. I already took Tulsa plus 7.5 against South Florida. That might have been a mistake. I'm thinking about taking Air Force plus all these points against San Diego State. And that's some stuff that I did in the afternoon that had me thinking in college football, Jim.
Yeah, no, good leans. I like the leans here. Money coming in on San Diego State early, line moving up to 10.5. And then we do have the Appalachian State, Arkansas State game tomorrow night, which nice to have some Tuesday night college football that we will be hammering. It's a big, beautiful card here. Northwestern has proven to be much better than we expected them to be.
Yes, yes, they have. And as I said, I made Nebraska an official pick at 5.5. I bet it at 6.5. It opened at 7.5. Nebraska obviously is horrible. The question is, how bad is their defense? And I do not believe that Northwestern is going to be able to sustain this level of play. They've been great. They're not that good.
Well, we expected a letdown this past week, and it was another great performance by them.
And who did they? It was Michigan State. Yep, I'll fully admit, I had Michigan State this past week.
So did I.
Terrible call there. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe Northwestern is for real going forward. What do we think?
Yeah, I do. I think that they are for real. I find the Georgia Tech spot, Duke, Georgia Tech, a very, very exciting game. We already talked about Boston College with 13.5 points. Is that too many points?
I mean, Louisville, it started the year bad. That's a game that I have circled as do a lot more game-specific research on that one, because obviously to start the year, and a lot of the low baggers were onto this, that Boston College was going to have a big offense and be a good bet, and they were. Louisville, a lot of people caught them off guard just how bad they were this year offensively, but they were definitely, severely anemic. Now, this might be a perfect spot where Louisville will turn it around, although, I don't really want to be betting against a team like Boston College is what's going on here, right?
Yes, and they covered late last week. That hurt me. It was my first time going against Boston College, and it hurt. John Roy says Northwestern plays when they want to play, just like the Bears. Loving having John Roy in our chat.
Yes.
He works at Soldier Field in Chicago, and he gives us like up to the second information on the field conditions. And he's a huge asset to the low bag family. So shout out to my man.
Yes,
John
and Spike
Roy.
0000 says Nebraska isn't that bad with that quarterback back. Yeah, I'm worried about their defense, but listen, I bet it at 6.5. I gave it as an official pick at 5.5, or no, I actually gave it an official pick at 6, buying up to from 5.5 to 6. And I'm timing once again a regression from Northwestern, although that might be a mistake there. Let's see. Any other comments coming in, and then we'll get into some. Elio Rodriguez says Appalachian State has to be the play. I was thinking that way as well, although it is they're now up 9 or 9.5. Arkansas State is still they have a legit quarterback, and that's a big line there. So my first thought on that one was yes, Appalachian State has to be the play, but I have not bet that one yet. Obviously, I haven't given it as a pick yet. And Gower Ramesh says Louisville looked so awful last week. That said, could be a value bet for the courageous. Nobrino Tomor says Northwestern played well, but they had negative rushing guards against Michigan State, and their defense has holes. I think they're a decent team, but nothing special. Yes, that's what I'm thinking as well. Decent team, but nothing special. Now they're going up against a Nebraska team that does have some serious issues, not getting a ton of points. But look, I did what I did. I took it. I made it a pick. And okay.
Yeah, Gower Ramesh also liking Appalachian State. I agree with you. As this line creeps higher and higher, it gets less and less appealing.
Which one?
The Appalachian State, Arkansas.
Yes, definitely. All right, so let's see what other comments are coming in, and then we'll get into handicapping. I'm getting back into the swing of things. I miss reading these comments. These guys really, really, really help us out so much. I should really tail them more with. I should have. I mean, I bet West Virginia against Texas Tech, but there's no question I should have made that one official pick. I think you did make that one official pick, didn't you?
Yeah, I had some nice play. If it wasn't for the Pac-12 disaster at the end of the night, there would have been a nice weekend for me in college football. But these things happen. Ish Kurt joining us. Great guy. I think I think there's a lot of opportunities in college football this week, but it's going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah, it's college football is always tough, and the tough thing about college football, there's so much variance that when you see a certain result in a game, it's not always the case that you were on the wrong side. You have to look into what happened and decide what did you have a bad read on the game, or just did variance break against you?
My man Philip coming in saying Appalachian State easy money, cuz.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, yes. MFAM says, what are you and Pete's plays on Boston, New York? Jim has no MLB plays today. I'm on the second half under, which is a little bit tricky, but I'm taking that one. What else do we have here, Jim? Well, and then we'll get into it. Let's just look at some comments. Shout out any comments that you're seeing. DT Doug says Northwestern is playing for their retired teammate. Yeah, I guess that is what it is. They're the running back. That's what they're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So maybe there's yeah. And then again, Northwestern's also like kind of a good program with good character. I think about them in the same vein as Duke or Army or the service academies. You know what I mean? Yeah. A team that habitually over Kansas State. It's that kind of a program, right? You know what I mean? Like if Kansas State starts overachieving a few games in a row, I'm not immediately going to say regression's coming.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
Soreless in Seattle says always shenanigans in late Pac-12 games. Corey Dickerson, 27-23 final in the Skins game, giving us a final score there. He got the Redskins +7 early in the week.
Yes.
Melvin Morrell, easy money with Houston and the over today. Anna Merrick, I need Kamara to come out like a bat out of hell tonight for fantasy. And James Palmer says, let's get it on. Bags come to the UK. We'd absolutely love that.
Come to the UK. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Oh, Jesus Christ. I should have just moved. I should have at least fucking visited. I love British women. All of them. All of them. The white ones, the Pakistani ones, the black ones, all of them. God, I just love British women. And it's not because of the accent. It's because of the attitude. I actually don't like the accent. The accent reminds me of the people who scammed me out of my entire life savings a few years ago. It's not the accent. It's the attitude. The accent annoys me. It's just the attitude. All right. So, shall we move on, Jim?
Yes, we should. But first off, Garamesh, thoughts on Buffalo -7. Akron is a terrible team, but is the spread too high? Well, we saw Buffalo's inconsistent ways over the last couple of weeks. I mean, they looked great this past week. They looked terrible a week ago.
No, I'm not fading Buffalo.
No, definitely not fading them. But are you going to take them?
Probably not. that game I actually have passed on as of right now, and have no real thoughts either way. There are a bunch of totals though that are interesting to me. We'll talk about this tomorrow. There's a bunch of totals that might be a little bit contrarian. A bunch of totals involving teams that have been very high scoring so far this year, where we might be in for a little bit of a lower scoring games that we're seeing.
Yeah, my man Kelly McMillan joining us, a great football capper, especially in the CFL. It's great to see you back, Pete.
Yes.
Hi, Jimmy. Did well in CFL till today. Okay. Still in game on Eskimos. I like Washington. Have a good game tonight.
And just to answer this question, Gower Ramesh. So, Pete, Australia, UK, Canada, rank them in order of preference. Definitely Australia first, Canada second, UK third. But I love the UK. Yeah. Love their attitude. Love the ladies there. Joe Yurkovich says, bad British sheep. That is weird. I don't understand why that is. But and Von Polo says, hey, Peter, did you really get scammed out of your life savings? The answer to that is yes! Yes, they stole it all from me just for me being a nice guy. Unfriggin' believable. Shout out to Neil Ryan and Tom Dalby from the Hoxton Pub, Costa Rica. San Jose, Costa Rica. Yeah. Baby. All right, let's move on to it. Let's see. What else do we want to get to here?
Well, we need to break down this Yankees game. I'm wondering if there is if we can find a bet that appeals to me here.
You think people enjoy this shit?
Yeah.
You too? I'm going to start trimming my mustache as well. I'll tell you one quick thing. I did go to an art show this weekend. Yeah. I did go to an art show, and the artist who invited me when I showed up, she was just like, Peter, she made some changes, and I have to admit, after she made the changes, I looked a lot better. She said, you can't wear that. She gave me a white sweater. She said, wear this white sweater. She put my hair in a man bun, and she made me trim my mustache. Wow. And I have to admit that it looked a lot better. So I'm going to start grooming a little bit more, I think, at the barbershop across the street.
Yeah, there is a nice barbershop.
There is, and the great people there. Yeah. All right, so let's get into it. Obviously, what everyone wants to talk about is the NFL game. I guess first we should just finish up with MLB and NHL. There's just 2 MLB and NHL games on the card tonight. Again, Jimmy the Bag is on the under. He's in the Anaheim game. He's on the first 9 minutes and 30 seconds, no score. I'm on the first period under in the Anaheim game. He has no play on the Boston Yankees game. I'm on the second half under on that one, 3.5 -150. And I'm tempted to take a shot with Well, with the full game under, as well as with Boston on the first 5 run line. But again, the Yankees lineup is really coming together now. They're getting healthier. They're not really a team you want to fade, right?
They're not a team you want to fade. I don't know what we're going to get from Eovaldi. And I don't expect actually for him to have a lights out start, even though he had the Yanks number earlier in the season. And right away, Big Ragu says take team total over Yanks over 4.5.
Yes, yes. Savage Larry says chicks like the grooming lotion. It is. It's so true. It's so true. There's even this one woman I've known for a long time, and she saw the picture. She says, "It looks great, Pete." All right. DJ Big Bot says, "Pete, with a man bun tomorrow's show." Yeah, the problem is I can't do it. She tried to show me how to do it. It totally fucked up. But maybe I'll, maybe we'll work out something where she can come over and do my hair for one show.
Sure.
It was funny as hell. It was funny as hell. I can tell you that. All right, Jim. So Red Girl likes Severino strikeouts 5. I assume she's talking about the over.
Yeah.
Right.
Melvin Morel, Yankees all day. Yeah, the question really is not as much Severino anymore. He just looks good at home. Let's break down some of his numbers. He was much better at home than on the road. 10-2, 2.74 ERA. He had that big blimp in his season, and he got it together near the end. I mean, he was bad in the second half, but he had 3 nice starts to end the season. Had a good enough start in a very high pressure wild card game. Also, Nutflush Island wondering if she also bought your college package for the low price of a reach around.
Wait, did she?
Did she?
Look at that, Nutflush Allen like that joke. Shout out to you, Nutflush Allen. No, she's not into sports betting or anything like that. No.
Bill Butler says I look lovely in canary yellow, and Kelly McMillan says, have you guys on my 60-inch TV? Pete, that mustache is about 33 inches of my screen.
Very nice. Flipper13 says, don't do it, Pete. LOL, we bag hard in the office on man bud dudes here. Yeah, but Flipper13, I can pull it off. The guys that you're bagging on, they can't pull it off. I can pull it off. Totally different situation. Anyway, if I have a man bun and people start bagging on me, it makes them look bad, not me look bad, because I can pull it off, Flipper13. I hear what you're saying, though, but I can pull it off. All right, let's move on. What do we have here?
Underdog says, I have 2 future World Series wagers with my Yankees to win the World Series. Yeah, so do I. I have 300 on the Yankees at plus 600 that I didn't like a while ago, and I may find more appealing. And I will definitely hedge against the Astros if it gets to that point.
Tom Marino says, I think the value is with the Yankees. Wow, even at the huge line. See, I'm thinking that anyone would say, even people who like the Yankees tonight would be saying, but the line is too high. They would say, I think the Yankees win, but the line is too high. Boston has a better record, but the Yankees are in better form. Judge back is key, and they're a 500 team when he's out. Yeah, I mean, the Yankees are clearly... You remember in the beginning of the season when we were like, just bet the Yankees? A lot of people, Dan Kelly, I can't remember who it was, said, just take the Yankees on the run line every game and you'll come out okay. And that worked until they started to get all the injuries, right?
It worked also until Sanchez just didn't show up.
Right,
When he started hitting under the Mendoza line, it was just a problem. Now he's hot, and all it takes is a little confidence for these guys just to get on a roll. And then, of course, with the Judge injury, then they were just nowhere to be found.
God, I love Nutflush Allen. He listens to everything and he appreciates it. He gets the jokes. I love you. We should hang out at his house one day. He invited us for Thanksgiving. We should go. All right, yeah. So the Yankees are clearly, I agree with Tomer. They're clearly, if not, would you say they're the same Yankees that we saw in the beginning of the season right now? Yes, they are.
But they could be even better because Sanchez is rolling. Right. And he was not rolling all season long. So they might be even stronger.
Yeah, Rostradamus says, I think the line is telling us who will win. I might have made a mistake taking the second half under, and if that's the case, a hater we know who shall not be named will probably cash with her fade of me, presuming she took the over on the second half. I'm on the second half under on that one. The bullpens are still good, right?
And Ralph Borwando says, I'm very unsure on the under.
Yeah, that's my least favorite play of the day.
Kingu about business. I'm on the Red Sox today. And another missed field goal in that CFL game.
Wow. Yeah, but that happens.
It wasn't going to hit anyways. They all field goals, the 7 field goals, 2 misses.
Yeah.
Picks in the red zone.
All right, so Detroit and Anaheim, once again, we're feeling okay about this under. I feel like, why not, right? We're feeling okay about it, right?
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, there's some concern, but if you know anything, there's concern with the injuries to defense, but if you know anything about Blashill, he's just a very... The little things are extremely important to him. He's was an assistant under Babcock. He has come up through this Detroit system that is very important to be accountable defensively. And I think these young guys will be even more accountable and even more nervous about taking risks.
All right,
So I like it.
Yeah, Jim's on the full game under. I'm on the first period under, and Jim is also on the first 9:30 and seconds no score play. Boston Yankees second half under for me. Probably a mistake. I might have made a mistake there, but we'll see how it turns out. And again, Boston a big underdog. All right, that's it. We're done with MLB and NHL. Big NHL card tomorrow. We'll see you. That'll be fun to break down, right, Jimmy the Bag? I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna be listening to this. We should have some sort of arrangement where if I have a bunch of any play where I'm influenced by your breakdown, you automatically get a free 15% of whatever units I'm positive.
No. No, it's
or you can just
know what?
tail your own advice.
It's all just about capping right.
Right. Yes,
and,
absolutely.
And we're going to be able to find these opportunities throughout the season.
Yes.
And this was a good turnaround day. We'll see. I mean, I've doubled up on that.
Yeah.
Under, but this just going over the fact that these Western Conference teams, no matter how strong they are, have a tough time in some of these markets. And some have a great time, like the Canucks last year were more than capable. And I wonder if the Canucks are going to be, a value spot tomorrow night against the Carolina Hurricanes. I don't think so, but I do think that in games that the Canucks play for, there's going to be a lot of goals scored.
But we also had reason to like the Islanders anyway, right?
Yeah, well, you know what? The reason was just the situation and just breaking down trends that have been going on for a long time. And also Robin Lehner.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Reasons to like the Islanders.
Clearly, he's going to take over. I'm not a guy who believes in Grice. If Lehner has, turned the corner with the issues that were bothering him, he has all the talent in the world. Remember, he's a first-round draft pick. He was a guy who was believed in. Buffalo believed in him. Ottawa initially drafted him. So maybe he's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of value on these.
And in the meantime, I was looking at this. We knew, just to review the CFL game, I'm sure you knew this, Calgary was notoriously bad in Montreal. Yeah. They covered again. They didn't win, but they covered again. Montreal, that was definitely a play, plus the points, leaving that one on the table. And I think that the line movement in favor of Edmonton in light of their, they haven't covered the game yet, but it's looking good. And in light of their offensive anemia combined with the line movement, told you that Edmonton was probably the play there. When you see a team like Edmonton's been struggling offensively as much as they have, and then you see the market moving in their favor on a road game like that, that's the market trying to tell you something, Jimmy the Bag.
No doubt. But Bano, shout out to him. He was on the Alouettes. The first time he's backed them in the last 2 years, and it was a successful.
All right, so let's move on to NFL. Once again, Jimmy the Bag gave out Washington plus 6.5 at plus 100, so he got a great number there, beat a nice little line move.
I could have got 7 if I was early enough.
Really?
7s were available immediately when the line came out.
Yeah.
And as we talked about, the 7, 7.5, 6.5, 7 being so crucial.
And once again, we will have the opportunity, Jim. Just consider it. Now, you don't want to do it too much because you can get burned, but we, starting now, we'll give ourselves the opportunity to buy points if we want. Sure. It's treacherous. It's treacherous. You know what I mean? Because it's easy to say, well, all right, I'll buy up to 7. Then you're like, well, I really don't want to lose this bet. Why don't I buy up to 10? And then you're like, but I really don't want to lose it. Why don't I buy up to 14? And if you start doing that, you will definitely screw yourself long term. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Today was a perfect example in the NHL game where I bought a half goal, and it wound up serving me well. All right, so Jimmy the Bag likes Washington plus 6.5. The total has the total moved yet? Not really. In fact, it opened at 52. It's down to about 51 or 51.5 right now, right?
Yeah, Native Queen saying Washington all day. So Santa giving us a hint of what he'll be on tomorrow in the NHL. Calgary money line, San Jose money line, Toronto money line, and Winnipeg puck line. I tell you straight up, I'm going to be on the Winnipeg puck line. The line's already come out. You know what? I might jump on it now.
If you want to, you can.
I really feel like it's going to be a tough spot for the Kings. Also, the Dustin Brown injury. Vitalis in the house. Nice to have him. What up, my man? The injury to Dustin Brown's huge. Now, it's not that Iafallo can't play on the first line, but Brown creates space. And space is so crucial for guys like Kopitar, who's a soft hands but a slow skater, and Kovalchuk, who needs space for his incredible shot. So you know what?
You want Winnipeg is what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'd like to take Winnipeg right now.
Okay.
On the minus 1.5.
You can get plus 151 if you want.
I'll take it.
Plus 151. All right, Jim is taking Winnipeg puck line plus 151. That is the current line at Pinnacle. We'll see tomorrow morning what the line will be. The line isn't out at every place, but it is out at Pinnacle. Minus 1.5 plus 151. Bet online has 150. Everyone else has 150. So we'll see where this line moves.
Yeah, I feel like it's a tough spot for the Kings, and the Kings are a slow team, and when they go up against the high-octane, fast teams, I think they could get touched, and we'll see. We'll see tomorrow night.
See, this is the kind of thing that I'm thinking that I'm listening to you for, and not just for this game. I'm listening to you about that for the next 2 weeks, for the entire season. You know, not the entire season because these things change, but definitely for the next 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
This is a Kings team that needs space, and Dustin Brown is fast and hit hard. He does what Tom Wilson does with the Capitals, and not having him in the lineup really hurts this first line. And he's responsible defensively. It allows Kovalchuk to maybe leave the zone a little early or look to stay in the zone late. And I think when Brown comes back, we'll see a change in this first line.
All right, so let's stick with the NFL though. Isaac Hagen says Kamara over 60 yards receiving. Yeah, I mean Washington has a great defense, but the only question is just with Ingram back, will that mess up the chemistry somehow? I think probably not, right?
No, I don't think it'll
so
mess
either.
it up. No, this is a team that's confusing. They've been confusing all year. I thought their defense was going to take a big step in the right direction. It did not. And the question is, did they get a bunch of confidence over the Giants? And the Giants just showed a couple days ago against the Panthers, or yesterday against the Panthers, that they're capable of big offensive breakouts. So did the Saints D turn a corner? But I do like the Redskins here.
And here you go, Ralph Portuondo, Mr. Totals Portuondo likes the Warriors in the NBA tonight. Under 230, starters will play about 20 minutes.
Wow.
Not bad. Yeah. Eddie Marak asking about Kamara touchdown tonight, minus 190. What do you think? Not exactly sure. Anil Frank saying Saints over 3.5 touchdowns, plus 105.
And also, while you've been gone, the King's Court is the show that we lead into. It's on at 7:30 p.m. And they've been crushing live bets.
Have they really?
They've been crushing live bets.
Wow,
people have been making money.
Really?
They've been doing a hell of a job. Really fun show. And that's at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, half an hour or 15 minutes to half an hour after we're off the air.
Wow, very nice job. Shout out to King's Court.
Yeah, at one point.
Do they give us love in this show?
Oh, they do.
Oh, no. They do? Really?
They
really?
do. Yeah,
really?
Yeah,
really?
They're low baggers.
Oh, that's
man.
awesome.
They're low baggers.
That's awesome.
And we give them love.
Yes.
And so I believe as of Thursday of last week, Ski Profit was 3-0, and King Rail was 14-7-1 in the preseason. So combined.
What, live betting or is that combined of everything?
Both. But that 17-7-1.
Holy
combined.
shit.
Yeah.
Like I said, the preseason in most sports right now has better value than the regular season. The issue is you have to know what to look for. You have to have the time and the inclination to look for it. I am not in the teeniest bit surprised that Ski Profit and King Rail have been able to have that kind of success. I think that is roughly sustainable. You know what I mean?
Too.
Anything in the low 60s, if you really have the time and know what you're looking for in the preseason, it's awesome, but it's sustainable.
They wait till the right point.
Yes,
I was watching when they got Charlotte, who was at home, and was favorite name. They got him at plus 9.5 because they were down double digits, and Charlotte won by 10. Amazing.
The big bugaboo, if they're watching King Rail and Ski Profit, the big thing is always, no matter what happens, maintaining discipline. Because if you start to think, well, picks just win because I picked them, not because I did my research and found the right side, that's when you can start to get screwed. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's okay to make a high number of picks as long as you're using the same process that has gotten you to this level of success that you were. But yes, in the preseason, low 60s is sustainable. Congratulations, Ski Profit and King Rail. Awesome job. All right.
Sassana is on the Flames tomorrow night and says they'll be the Longhorns of the NHL. Love them as dogs, hate them as favorites. I don't know what to. I'm going to have to study this more, but I'm a little concerned about the way the Flames have been playing, sloppy defensively, and now they're going into a tough building. Now, Nashville at home is actually a place that I have some interest in fading at times, but I'm not sure if tomorrow night will be the spot. I look forward to break that down.
Up Native Queen, Charlotte, the Cavs, and Brooklyn in the NBA preseason at 7 o'clock. Okay. All right. Let's see what happens. Ski Profit is watching. Ski Profit. Congratulations, dude.
Yeah, they're doing such a good job. It's fun to watch.
Even though I'm not surprised, I'm fucking impressed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's amazing. Great job. NBA is really tough. But again, if you know what you're looking for. Yeah.
We've always talked about how live betting in NBA is probably the best spot.
That's what I said. Yeah. That's what I always said. And the one kind of NBA bets that I always have had success with has been second half bets, which is basically a live bet. It's just at the break. Absolutely, absolutely. I just don't have time to sit there and watch the entire game, but while it's going on. But absolutely. All right. So, what do you want to what do you want to do here? NFL? Do you want to add anything on,
No,
Jim?
I'm not going to add anything on. I like the Redskins. I like the 6.5 points. I've had a bad week of football, and hope I can end it strong.
Yes. Tom Ricci says, I've only lasted gambling for 40 years because of discipline, which I didn't have first 10 years. Absolutely. I have lacked discipline with my gambling career as well. But today I had discipline, and I'm hoping that to continue that, I've had 1 day of discipline in my gambling career right now, 1 consecutive day, and I'm hoping to let that continue throughout the entire, the rest of my life, I guess. All right, let's see. What else do we have here?
Reef, New York City, who got vids tonight? We have no vids, no low baggers sending in vids today, but we need more.
Because they all got their own shows now. They're all fucking,
No,
we need to get our vids on their shows is what we need.
We do.
Yeah.
We will send them in. Ricardo Rodriguez, Low Shack in the bag. What up, fellas? Oscar Sanchez, Jimmy, I like Vancouver, Carolina over all day. I'm interested in that play quite a bit as well. Bill Butler, my play tonight. Adrian Peterson have 1 TD at plus 100 bet online in a revenge game. He's pissed because the Saints discarded him like trash. He's gotten a TD in versus his previous teams. I think that's a great play.
I mean, definitely, he's having a renaissance. How long is this likely to last?
Well, it'll last this week because he had a week off, and it's been 2 weeks since he played. I believe he'll be rolling tonight. Let's see. Gate Paskey, be careful fading the Habs. Not a fan, but watch their games. With solid goaltending, their speed through the middle, and great work down low, they look solid.
What do you think about that, Jim? Agree, disagree?
I think that early in the season, these terrible teams have a ton of value, and we saw Ottawa go into Toronto and beat them 5-3. I don't think that will last.
Tom Ricci says this is like Costa Rica Idol. That is funny. That's funny as hell, man. That's funny as hell. I actually had an idea for a show that we should fucking pitch. I actually pitched it to SBR like 6 years ago, and they were just like, "That's just way too involved. We can't produce something like that, but we should do it."
Dwayne Reed says Redskins off a bye week, healthy defense. I like my chances and leaning towards the under.
Yes.
And then Noli knows who generally loves unders is taking the over tonight, which is something that he rarely does, and he's excellent
Really?
totals.
See, I'm thinking that the market is trying to tell you to take the under. It opened at 52. At Pinnacle is now 51. I can't take the under. I'm going to stay off this game. Why? Discipline, right? I had a bunch of plays today that I thought were good. We've talked about this game a lot. I've heard all the arguments, and I think that Washington is almost definitely the right side here, ATS-wise.
Nasty Nate says skins, crypto cap or skins tonight, and Arkansas State tomorrow night. I'm telling you, if that Arkansas State spot gets up to double digits, I might pounce.
Yeah, I was thinking about taking Appalachian State at like 3.5 maybe. You know what I mean? When I saw 7.5 and then up to 9, I was like, man, I don't know if I can do this. Don Ricci says, how much money do we need for your show? I don't know, but we could anything I fucking touch will turn to gold in terms of videos. Trust me on that. I learned that. You know when I learned that? 7th grade. Health Ed Project. 7th grade. I did an impression of a baseball player. I won't do my impression now, but it was a good one.
But Nolino says don't step in front of the Appalachian State.
You're absolutely right. I agree. That's a serious dominant team against mid-range teams. Absolutely, no question.
Gower Mesh, here's something I'm liking. Total novice. We've been around you long enough to know that that's not the case. Gower says Miami +3 at home versus the Bears. Bears are coming with extra rest, but still Dolphins at home. Dogs to Trubisky looks excessive.
I haven't looked at the opening lines in NFL, but we'll certainly talk about that one tomorrow. Gate Pass Key says 34-21 Saints, so he's liking the Saints and the over.
Tomor saying I like the Flyers to win at home tomorrow. Philadelphia struggled Philadelphia started the season strong, and San Jose doesn't have chemistry yet. Jones has struggled. Yes, it is a very interesting spot without Van Riemsdyk. And this Flyers offense actually didn't come into the season that healthy, but they're very, very talented. And that's a tricky spot. I don't like fading a talented squad, even if they don't have chemistry, that's just being embarrassed to start a road trip. So that's a tricky spot. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do for that tomorrow. Susana says Dell in net. And San Jose laid down for Philadelphia, where they are 7-1 last 8 years on Philly. Wow, very interesting stuff from Susana. Great capper.
Yes, great capper. I'm copying and pasting comments as we speak, and I've just pasted his comment. Flames will be the Longhorns of the NHL. Love them as dogs, hate them as favorites. Yeah, and speaking of which, I'm taking Baylor. I'm taking Baylor against Texas. I had to give them at 14.5, but I bet it at 16.5, and I would kind of agree with that. Actually, I think that's one of the games that I'm looking at an under on. We'll be talking about college football totals a lot more tomorrow. Savage Larry says a big Saints win today. Ralph Portuando likes square play, but New Orleans over 51.
Rob Portwando and Noli knows liking the over there, and they're very good with totals.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to pass on this NFL game. Any other thoughts or comments coming in?
No, just Elo Rodriguez says I'm fading the Saints. Something is wrong there. John Roy agreeing with Dolphins +3 on Sunday, and Savage Larry liking the Saints tonight. No, I think we can roll onto NCAA football. There's no point.
Okay, but except that there's nothing really to talk about because I started off the show and with the morning show talking about everything that I was liking. So there's nothing. We might have to cut this show. We might have to cut this show off super early, Jimmy the Bag.
Or they could bring in any questions they have about gambling.
And here you go. What did I say at the look at this at the beginning of the show? What did I say about TCU? I was going to take him if it went to 7, right?
Yeah.
Since then, it's now 7.
Wow.
It's during the show, it went to 7. It's 7.5, plus 106 at Pinnacle, and already Heritage, Intertops, U-Wager are all down to 7. So money coming in on Texas Tech. I'm just not sure. I'm going to have to look into this one a little bit closer. The question is, Texas Tech was obviously overvalued in their game against West Virginia. The question is, are they going to be overvalued for an extended period of time? My question is, my assumption is a little bit yes. My only issue here is just, am I radically overvaluing TCU? Because I thought they were going to be a good bet at home against Iowa State, and they won it, but they didn't come close to covering. And maybe it is the same way here. I know they have a questionable quarterback. I'm going to have to look into this a lot more. I'm going to do my more in-depth research tonight.
Infamoso says Detroit Red Wings tonight, Jimmy. Just like what we talked about with the Islanders Sharks game. We were taking all Western Conference teams when they went to Long Island, and it was a mistake for me not to jump on that again today. We did that all year last year to great success. Another thing we did was we faded all teams that were missing 2 of their top 4 defensemen. The Red Wings are now missing 3 of their top 6 defensemen. Now, I love some of their young defensemen, especially Cholowski, the 2016 first-round draft pick, but I can't back them with this spot. Now, we talked about Blashill. We talked about how he coaches, and he's a defensive-minded coach, and he should have them playing a very conservative game, but I just can't back a team when we knew we were so successful fading that type of situation last year. So, no, I can't back them, but I do believe in the under, and I think the Ducks will be great with the under all year. I think we're going to get tons of action. And if you look at this Ducks offense, I mean, it's a shadow of its former self. Tons and tons of injuries. I think this will be a scrappy, low-scoring affair. Sounds good.
I hope you're right. Jimmy the Bag. Jimmy the Bag, I hope you're right. All right, so college football, just scanning over the line movements here. Nothing really, from the morning show except for this. Wow, money coming in on Texas Tech. I'm going to look into that one this evening and hopefully have a stronger opinion on it.
Well, why don't we, as soon as in a couple of minutes when you're ready to go, why don't we do a quick run through of the NFL, all the games coming up this week?
Well, I haven't looked at them. Have you looked at them?
No, but I mean, I've studied the teams every single night for hours and hours and hours.
You're familiar with the teams in general?
I'm familiar with the football teams in general.
Look at you, Jimmy the Bag.
I say we take a good look at all of them.
He's just familiar with the teams in general. Okay, I say yes.
But let's look at this. Walter saying, I think, and John Garcia is saying you think UCF will get in over a 10-2 team. John Garcia asking about UCF. And Walter Trotter, heavy on Colorado, plus 7.5. Looks like the best bet to me. We'll finalize it tomorrow.
Colorado plus 7.5. That's a late game, right? That's a late game. Against USC. Yeah, that one I have not. That one I haven't looked at yet. Man, these Pac-12 games are tough. There's weeks where I just skip the Pac-12 completely.
Oh, I wish I had done that last week. There's my. Tom Marino says TCU's quarterback play is so inconsistent. They're tough to back as favorites. He makes horrible decisions.
I know. Definitely true.
Dwayne Reed, Appalachian State -9 on the road. Only loss was on the road at Penn State by 7. The rest of their games have been blowouts. I don't see why that changes here. Crypto Capper saying Texas A&M looks good. They're getting all of the action. All of the early wagers are on Texas A&M.
Yeah, who are they going up against?
South Carolina, right?
Oh, that's right, South Carolina. Man, that's a tough one. I'm definitely going to look into that one. I'm wondering why the line on that one here. Let me just pull my notes up here. Why the total on that one is so low. I'm not quite. I understand it's going to be a tough, gritty game, but it's a very low total from what I think. I'm trying to find the opening line here.
R.S. Jacobs says, I love Colorado in that spot. I like them in that spot as well. I think Colorado is a hell of a football team. And then Vitalis says, why are the Redskins -1 versus the Panthers next week? Your thoughts? Don't Panthers get healthy players back? Well, we know they're getting Olsen back, or they're expected to be getting Olsen back. This is a way you can, it's almost like betting on the game tonight. Is by deciding if you like New Orleans, then you should jump all over that Panthers line right now. If you like Washington, because if if Washington has a big game, that line will change drastically. So basically, Vitalis, you make a decision as to who you like tonight, whether you want to jump on that line early. Thank you. But yeah, I think that that Carolina looked really bad defensively last.
I'm going to make one other decision here. Another one of my a game that I bet and was in my leans category was Kent State. I bet them at 12.5 against Miami of Ohio. I'm definitely going to look into this one a little bit more, and if I decide I'm on the wrong side of it, I'm going to take it back. But the line is moving in Kent State's favor, and I'm going to add that one right now, plus 11 at Bookmaker and Just Bet in a few other places. I'm taking Kent State plus 11 against Miami of Ohio. That was one of my leans. I bet it at 12.5. It's now down to 11, and I'll take that one.
Yeah, I was interested in that spot.
Yeah.
Kent State's hurt me so far this year, but that's a lot of points.
Yeah, I had Kent State last week, actually, as a bet, and I didn't tweet it out, but I definitely had it. So I've added that one on. And anything else you want to discuss here from college football?
No. Arthur Meade, great pick on the Bruins. That was I think the Bruins at home this year are going to be real juicy for these puck lines. I think they're going to score a lot of goals. I think there's going to be a lot of overs, especially Tuukka Rask does not look like he's got his shit together. But Halak is not going to take the job.
So you're liking Boston on puck lines, even though you're down on Tuukka Rask.
Yeah, I do.
Really?
I like.
It's just that strong.
It's that Pasternak right now. Right, you know what? When these teams are in notorious injury problems. So when we talk about like the Redskins being healthy right now, that's why we're backing their defense. You know, with this Bruins team, when you have Bergeron and Krejci healthy, you take them nonstop because they're not going to be healthy. We know they're going to get hurt. Bergeron, what do you have, a hat trick today? These guys are special players. Should be jumped all over while they're healthy.
Okay.
Not Flush Allen saying the wife was online and just randomly looking at stuff, ran across round trip tickets to Costa Rica at a cheap price, and her first words were, you could hang out with Jimmy and Pete.
Hey, if you buy a little bit of advance, you can get, it's like $400, $450, well, not 400 would be lucky, but yeah, $450, $500 for round trip if you...
you can get that, and this time of year especially, it gets more expensive during the dry season, but you can get, we got a $150 flight back to Toronto.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so what else do we have here going on? JB says backwards hat today, Pete. Yeah, and trimmed mustache. I'm going to be trimming and grooming a little bit more in the upcoming weeks, I think, definitely. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, King Rail's in the house. Shout out. Oh, King Rail, $300 on the Saints, -6. Don't talk me off at BetMade, okay. A lot of people that we respect are on the other side. Native Queen loving the Redskins, right? Didn't she say she's loving the Redskins?
On the Skins, yeah, and Nasty Nate on the Skins. A lot of us are on the Skins here. Dan Piero got LSU at home +8.5 versus Georgia. A lot of points.
LSU +8.5. Yeah, that's another game I'm going to look into. It seems like LSU should not be good. That's another game where I'm thinking about the under. Another game where Georgia has just been putting up 40 points game in, game out. This might be a different situation, right? I'm leaning under on that one. I saw an opening line of like 49, I think, or 50. Definitely leaning under there. Georgia and LSU, right? I'm going to make these decisions tonight and bring back some picks tomorrow, hopefully.
Flipper 13. I do not recommend going to CR during the dry season. Sounds like a blue balls epidemic.
That's roughly accurate for sure.
Sure.
Let's see.
Arthur Meade, I took Washington Redskins team total over 10 on the first half.
He took what?
Team total over 10 first half for the Redskins.
For the Redskins, okay.
Like that. Tomor, I think Georgia's the most overrated team in college football right now. They had to replace every linebacker, and the running game isn't the same this year with Michael and Chubb's gone.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that that there might be a little correlated play there with LSU and the under. I think I'm liking the under a little bit more than LSU plus the points, though.
Crypto Capper, Utah State will win by 40 over UNLV.
Yeah, UNLV. What the hell happened to UNLV this past week? I had UNLV pegged as a team that was, in general, a team that I was vaguely looking to bet on. Not as a favorite. I didn't have them last week, but I was looking. UNLV was a team that I had circled as a team that was a team I was looking to bet on, and I did not see that blowout loss coming. I'm going to have to look into that one a little bit more. But, yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't know if I'd necessarily want Utah State minus all those points. I'm not sure. But definitely thinking about the Utah State team total over. I mean, what happened with UNLV's defense? I'm going to look into that. And if there's any reason to, if there's no reason to believe that it was fluky, Utah State, the team total over, even at a very high line, should be a decent play. Infomosa says, what's the spread on Utah State crypto? It's 24 or 24.5, I think I said.
I believe that's it.
Yes.
Let's keep rolling. Oh, the Reaver Pete popped that shirt off and to show everyone what benching 450 does for your pec.
No, I'm not. I can bench that. I just do that for myself. That's not to brag or to show off or to be showy. You know what I'm saying? It's just for my own purposes.
No, I agree. Noli No says you guys drink some volcanic water from Costa Rica. Met some guys in Vegas selling it.
Oh.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is
Sure.
it around?
Yes, sure. Why
Never
not?
heard of
I don't know.
J Dasher. Play is Fresno State. Better believe that.
Yeah. And Jay Peach likes the first half under. The Saints D needs to step up. Washington will run the ball. 2 hype teams in prime time.
Wow.
Going to be a tight one. That might not be bad.
Look at JP. What a guy.
Yes.
Peter, I missed. Haven't been able to tune in. You guys make life worth living.
Life worth living is what we do. You heard that? You heard that? Life worth living. I don't even know if life is worth living, but apparently we make it worth living for other people. Shout out to you, JP. Huge shout out. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We freaking do our best here to be a little bit entertaining. All right, let's see. Other comments. R.S. Jacobs likes the first quarter over 9.5. Up. King Rail, $300. My biggest bet in NFL this year. The whole family's from New Orleans. All four members work for the Saints franchise. Really?
Wow.
They want to murder the Skins. They know about the D troubles, and they see all the Skins love. Wow. All right, so King Rail not pulling this pick out of his ass.
No,
has some real reasons here.
No, I like it. And let's not make a huge deal about Doxson. He's not been around all year. He's done nothing all year. So it's not like their star wide receiver who's catching 100 yards a game is not in the lineup now after starring for 4 weeks.
Wow. Those are some serious, that's a serious justification there from King Rail. He's not like, well, my model says that. He's like, listen, 4 family members work for the Saints, right? That's that kind of shit. It's like, look, I'm an alumni of Central Michigan. Trust me, they're going to lose this week. It's that kind of thing, right?
It is. Dan Piero, Vandy, Florida line, a bit fishy.
Word from New Orleans is they want to embarrass the Skins. Last time we heard something like this, it was from Nutflush Allen. Word from USC is they want to air it out offensively, and they did. Now, word from New Orleans is that they want to embarrass the Skins. Obviously, they have the offense to do it.
They do.
Right?
There's no doubt that they do, especially with Ingram back.
Mohamed Joma also liking first half under. Both are dink and dunk offenses that use the backs a lot in the short passing game. Some heavy hitters liking first half under only. Mohamed Joma and who was it? Jay Peach. Wow, that might be a play there.
DT Duggs, again, this is the second time we've heard this. Horrible travel spot for Wyoming. Last week on the road at Hawaii, this week on the road at Fresno.
Yes, I did not look at that one. That was one game that I haven't looked at yet. I'm just gonna check here what the first half total is for this one. Yeah, 24.5, 25.5.
Wow, Reef, New York City. Jimmy taught me to be a nicer person.
Really?
He's a good dude. I don't know. Pete is just a man.
Oh, thank you so much.
Long-time follower of Mr.
Oh,
Moshe.
thank you so much. Oh, Jesus, life is so many friggin' ups and downs. You guys should have seen the friggin' week I had this week. I don't want to tell stories because it's a little bit proprietary information, but some funny shit happened this week. Yeah. Not in a good, like, funny if it were in a movie. If it's in your life, painful, but funny. You know what I'm saying? Funny shit. All right, so let's see.
DJ Big Boss, Fresno will roll Wyoming. DJ Big Boss coming off a nice weekend in the Mountain West where he does his best work. Yeah.
Vegas Gun, shout out to Vegas Gun. He says, the talent in this chat is just amazing. We blessed. Definitely. The talent in this chat is serious business. And look at what the fucking King's Court show. Where'd they come from? The chat, right? Yeah. And now look what they're doing on camera, live on tape. There's a lot more where that came from, though. A lot of talent in here. Let's see. Other comments coming in.
Also, R2D2 Finland gave a bunch of plays on Twitter. Gave Joker it again this morning. Joker it won easily.
Oh, they did?
1.5.
Oh, man. I got to get back onto that. I got to get back on following all the people on Twitter that I used to follow before I took a week off.
Crypto Capper liking Ohio State minus 29.5 versus Minnesota. Big line, but probably covers.
Which one?
Ohio State.
Right. He likes what?
He likes Ohio State to cover the big line.
Yeah. See, my thought there is, I mean, I know that Ohio State likes to run up the score against anyone. Okay. Do they really care about running up the score against Minnesota in this spot? Do they? Because you know what Minnesota's going to do, right? They're going to run the ball into the ground, right? They're not going to throw any passes the whole game, right? Mm-hmm. Is Ohio State? See, I'm thinking under on that game. I'm thinking under.
I like your feel on the under there. What is the total right now?
Is Ohio State really going to be motivated to run up the score in the middle of the season against Minnesota? Maybe. I don't know. I was thinking about a shot with the under. It's in this low 60s is what I saw.
59.5.
Is it 59.5? Yeah. Oh, fuck. See, it's already gone down since I saw it. I saw 61.5.
Oh, really?
It's now down to 51. Is it out yet?
Yeah, it's out at Bookmaker. 59.5, and BetOnline's already at 59.
Yeah, I'm leaning under there. I know that Ohio State likes to run up the score, but do they really care about this game that much to run up the score? Maybe they do. You know, I mean, if you're a real fucking dick, you're a fucking dick in any situation, no matter what you find yourself in, right?
Sure.
But you know what Minnesota's going to do. I could see this game being like 42-3. Feel me?
I do feel you.
In fact, I'll make that one an official pick right now. 59.5 minus 110. I'll make that one an official pick. The Pinnacle isn't out yet, but I'll make that one an official pick. Minnesota, Ohio State, under 59.5 minus 110. I just don't think that Ohio State is going to run up the score here. You know what I mean?
You know, I like the way you broke that game down quite a bit. I'm going to tail that.
You want it too?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So now Jim is on Winnipeg puck line plus 151 tomorrow, and Minnesota, Ohio State under 59.5. Yeah, we'll see where this line moves. I could see this one also being 63. You know, in a couple days, I'll be like, shit, I'm on the wrong side, and I got the horrible number.
Crypto Capper says Ohio State. I don't think Minnesota scores much. 47-13 final. We'd lose by a half point.
Lose by a half point. Yes, there you go. 47-13. Yeah, but you think Minnesota gets 13? Unless that's garbage time, I don't see that.
Dwayne Reed also liking Colorado. I agree with these guys. I think Colorado can put the hurt on USC. Dwayne Reed also liking the under in Cal versus UCLA, under 54. And if last week's game against Arizona is any sign of what this California offense is doing, I agree with them.
Yeah, the Bet Online had 61.5 earlier today. And in the
got hammered immediately.
Yeah, and it's now actually it opened at 60.5. The first bet was to the over, up to 61.5, and then down to 59. So I'm taking 59.5. It's always so risky taking these unders with Ohio State, because sometimes they do just wind up especially if the defense breaks down on the other side and Ohio State just like puts up easy touchdowns.
Crypto Capper says agree that Ohio State doesn't run it up. They won't have to, as Minnesota won't score.
Right, exactly. I could see this one being 56-zip and the under cashing. You know, I could see it being 56-3. In fact, that's my predicted score, 56-3, and we cash the under by a half point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I could see that kind of game. And Ohio State does want to run it up. They just run out of time, so they only get to 56.
Fomore says Haskins isn't a dual threat. QB, Ohio State doesn't run up the score as much.
Right. Yeah. All right. So I'm taking the under on that one. Let's see. We got some. All right. So I've already given one underplay. Let's see. What else do we have? Elio Rodriguez says, wow, okay, liking a lot of what's being said. Please repeat those plays. Let's see. What do we have here coming on? Let's see. Comments. Loving the comments that I'm seeing. Yenny Toon says, welcome back, Pete. Shout out to you, Wenny Toon. Eric Finch says, Gophers scored on Iowa. Big over in that game. Yes. That one made me, yes, that was a weird game. I was not expecting. That was a super low total. I was not expecting the high-scoring game, but, you know, anything can happen in college football, obviously. Let's see. What else do we have here? Any other comments coming in?
Yeah, did I break down? I like the comment that Nutflush Allen had on the football game, NFL. I don't believe I did say it. Yeah, it was about to, but something got in my way. Nutflush Allen said, I'm telling you. All the talk with Breeze getting the passing record. They come out in the first half and run the ball, then second half bombs away. First half under, full game over.
Nutflush Allen? So now Nutflush Allen likes the first half under. I trust these people.
Crypto Capper, UCF Memphis over 77 should be a lock. UCF will score 50 themselves. Interesting. I like that spot. I love watching Memphis games. They're just so wild. That first half, taking Memphis on the first half was so easy this past year.
UCF has a good defense, though. See, I'm not sure. My only question on this one is Memphis going to be able to be competitive with UCF? Because if so, I'm leaning the Memphis team total over and Memphis plus the points. I'm just not sure if UCF's defense has been tested yet and how they're likely to do against Memphis here.
I hear what you're saying.
You feel me?
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, definitely.
Dwayne Reed, love this mastermind group. You guys are the best. Shout out to you, Dwayne Reed. Welcome to joining us, Dwayne Reed. He joined this week, right?
I believe last week he had some incredible calls. Maybe it's been 2 weeks, but college football he's been just nailing.
Dwayne Reed, shout out to Dwayne Reed. Crypto Capper says Memphis defense is horrible. Yes, that is true. Muhammad Joma says, take it, Pete. Every single time Jay Peach and I have both been on the first half primetime unders, we've cashed. I'm doing well in NFL, Jimmy the Bag. Right? I mean, I've had very few plays, but I'm like 9-4 overall in NFL. It's just, God, that total, it's just, if it gets to 27, you lose. And you know what this Saints team can do, especially in light of what King Rail is saying. You know what I'm saying? They want to embarrass the Skins. What, they want to embarrass the Skins only in the second half? No, the entire game if they want to embarrass them, right? You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying. I just feel like this is the healthiest this defense has been in 2 years.
For the Saints, you mean?
For the Redskins.
Oh, for the Redskins. Right.
And they're coming off a bye. They've had 2 weeks to prepare.
All right, listen, I'll tell you what. If it was 28, I'd definitely be on it. At 25.5, it's just, you know what I mean? Drew Brees, that offense, if all of a sudden a couple touchdowns start getting scored and all of a sudden, Alex Smith, I mean, I don't mind I know they don't have a downfield threat, but I don't mind Alex Smith and Reed and all those guys, you know what I mean? They can put up a touchdown here or there too. It's just a little bit too, in today's NFL, 20, I understand people, I hope you all cash. I'm just going to stay off it. All right, let's see. Other comments coming in.
DT Doug's USF, Houston, or Memphis.
Okay.
What does he like the best? Drew Daddy saying, what's your best bet, gentlemen?
USF, Houston, or Memphis? Well, I don't like USF. I did take Tulsa. I did take a shot with Tulsa. Might have been a mistake. I wish I was getting 10.5 instead of 7.5. But I took a shot with Tulsa against USF. So we'll see how that turns out.
DT Doug, Cincinnati is in the AAC too. Jay Peach, Gruden hasn't been good.
Nutflesh Allen says, Pete, what was your prediction on the Ohio game? I assume he's talking about Ohio State. I took the under, 59.5. It's cutting it a little bit close. Because definitely, there's two sides to this coin. The other side is that if Ohio State does get a big lead, which they will, then the Minnesota defense might be just like, well, we don't give a shit at all. And all of a sudden, Ohio State starts putting up touchdown after touchdown, not because they want to run up the score, but because Minnesota just stops trying, which is possible. But I took a shot with the under, 59.5. And I liked it better at 61.5, and now it's 59.5. Nutflesh Allen.
Crypto Capper liking Tulsa's new quarterback. Ned G. Smith saying the Saints are 2-13 against the spread in their last 15 games as favorites of 6.5 or more. Yenny
Toon says, I can see Iowa getting upset by Indiana at home, as can I, Yenny Toon. That's what I was thinking. I was looking at that game. My big note on that game is, should Indiana be a home dog? I'm not sure about that. I was thinking the same way, Yenny Toon. I was thinking about Indiana. Absolutely. Noli Knows says, yes, Tulsa, I like it. USF is great. But I took a shot with Tulsa at plus 7.5.
Now Fletch Allen says no. What's your predicted score?
56-3. 56-3. That Jimmy the Bag and I cashed the under by a half point, and Ohio State does try to run up the score. They just run out of time. 50 touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. What's that? That's 8, 9.
That would be 8. 9 would be 63.
56. Yeah. 8 touchdowns for Ohio State, and they just can't get the ninth.
Conrado Mendoza, I agree with him, thinks that the Redskins are being disrespected.
All right, any other thoughts, Jimmy the Bag, before we wrap this show up?
No, I'm looking forward to a big day of NHL tomorrow.
All right, so tomorrow we got a lot of NHL. Tomorrow I'll hopefully have enough time to do some in-depth college football research. Maybe add a bunch of total picks. Maybe add a bunch of plays on some of the leans that I've got. Some of the games that I have circled as do game-specific research. Like for example the BC game against Louisville, a very interesting game. We'll have more MLB tomorrow, right?
Definitely.
We'll have more stuff coming in. I'm happy to be back. Life up and down, but we love you all. Great information, great vibes, great comedy, great jokes. Let's bring in, what do we have? Do we have
Lucrative Larry.
Lucrative Larry. I even love Lucrative Larry.
He's in a couple
comes
straight.
Back in.
Feeling confident? Feeling good?
Okay.
Can we roll a clip?
Okay.
Can we roll a clip?
Oh, beautiful. We have a clip.
I actually forgot how much I low-key don't like all this shit. No, I'm kidding.
That is a man.
Come on, man. Who approved this?
That's it.
Who approved? Did the head of marketing approve that? I doubt it.
That is actually my uncle. Quadi Cappuccino.
Okay, great.
Yeah, he's from Winnipeg.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Winnipeg Jets minus 1.5 over Los Angeles Kings. I missed you, Mr. Peters. I brought you a gift.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Little.
Okay. Okay, we're wasting time here. Folks. We got to wrap this up. That's okay. Is that the drawing? Oh.
Yeah, it's a drawing.
Oh, wow.
This is me. This is Mr. Jimmy's, and this is you, Mr. Peters.
That's gorgeous, yeah. Oh, get up real close and give the camera a touch there.
This is reminding me of cable access circa 1988. Cable access, circa 1988, Omaha,
That's
Nebraska. Thank you very much, Lucrative Larry. Okay, did he give a pick?
He did.
Oh, what was the pick?
That was because, and that's a famous video.
Oh, is it?
Yes, because that's in Winnipeg.
Oh, okay.
And he was taking the Jets, which I jumped on as well.
Okay,
Minus
all right.
1.5 at plus 155.
That's great. We'll be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern Time.